All right, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the I'm Not a Hater podcast, featuring your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown. Me at this point in time, just want to tell y'all, I appreciate everybody who's been watching. I know it's a broken record, but I really do appreciate it. All the YouTube subscribers, all the Spotify subscribers. I definitely appreciate everybody tuning in weekly to these episodes, right? Without y'all, I wouldn't be really doing this. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk about a different type of topic. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. Um, Basically, we're gonna talk about coworkers. We're gonna talk about people at your jobs, people that you run into um on a daily basis, that you have to work with, and the different type of people that you see. If you identify with these people, great, perfect. That means I hit the mark. Disclaimer before this starts, like, I'm not um when I mention these different type of coworkers, like, this has nothing to do with um the coworkers that I have now. Um this just has to do with, like, everybody that has been a part of my working journey um since about what, the age of 16. So please, if you've worked with me at any point, please don't take this personal. It's not about you, it's just things that I've seen. I'm just talking about it. Hopefully people can identify with it at this point. Okay. um so yeah, let's get into it, right? Almost everybody, right, at this point, most people don't like going to work. Because while people are at work, many people are doing other things, searching for other jobs, right, on Indeed or Career Builder, or they on social media, right, or they mentally just checked out on the clock, right? And this all of these type of people that make work the way it is, right? It can either be enjoyable for you or horrible for you for 8 hours every day or more if you work longer hours. um Not to mention, right, but while you're doing this, you encounter many different types of people. um Co-workers who are hardly working, or co-workers who are going above and beyond. And sometimes you get the overzealous people who show up early in the morning, like myself, or you get the people who dragging in. You're supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock. They punching in at 7:59 in 55 seconds. But whatever happens, we all make up the co-working branch of our jobs at this point, right? So there's different people that work in these jobs, and I'm gonna just run through them. Like I said, if you identify or you are that person, just have a little fun with it, man. The point of this one is to really just look at it and kind of laugh at yourself. Or if you feel like it's that bad and that terrible, then change something up. Okay. Don't take, again, like I said before, disclaimer, total jokes. It's all jokes. Don't take it personal. Okay. I promise. I promise it has no malice involved with it. But first up, all right, first up in your coworker dynamic, you got your old school coworker, right? We call them Miss or Mister or whoever. Um, they know the job back and forth, like the back of their hand. Um, they don't like coming to work. They probably should have retired years ago, but for whatever reason, they still working. Whether it's it just keeps them going, or they just they haven't got their minds wrapped around being retired yet. Um, but every time you see them and they working hard, it reminds you, like, yeah, I probably should. When it's my turn to retire, I'm definitely leaving at the first choice because you know for just for purposes, Miss Betty is still working when she should have been gone like 10 years ago. Like, why is she still here? But she could train people. She tell you how to do the job without looking at the manual. She can do everything, right? She know what to do, when to do it. But at times she will tell you, like, yeah, I don't need to be here. I could leave this job at any point in time. She don't need to work here. You got them old school coworkers. Value them though, because they have wealth of knowledge about the job, etc. And it is what it is. Shout out to all the old coworkers that's still hanging around. Next up, then you got the slacker employee, right? The slacker employee, the person who never comes in, and even when they do come in, it's like they're not there anyway. They just chilling. They on the clock, but yeah, they got 15 other things they could be doing. At this point, you really don't even know how they have a job because they're never there. They never do nothing, and they use as many sick and personal days as allotted, or even more, and you never see them. So you often wonder, like, yo, how do these people have jobs? It just doesn't. Are we that desperate? We got to just keep you around. Like, it makes you wonder. But it happens, right? Because you probably thinking about it right now, like, dang, I got a coworker that's just like that. They ain't never at work. Yep, you see him. Well, you don't see him, but you know who they are. um, you got the overly positive people, the we can do it people, right? You got those people. They take everything in stride. And if you want me to be honest, like, yo, I am that person, right? I'm the overly positive, overly flexible person. They can give me 50, 11 jobs. I'm going to do all 50, 11 of them. I'm going to take it in stride. I'm going to do it with no problem, right? I'm making a difference while I'm on the clock. Or in some cases, like what they tell me, like, they killing you, Brown. And I just be like, all right, hey, I'm still making a difference though. But it takes that, that veteran employee, that old school employee to burst your bubble and be like, you doing all that for nothing. They definitely, like, they bring you down a peg because you think you up here, and they like, nah, come back down here. You ain't really doing nothing. You ain't doing more than nobody else is. Um, but you get humbled being the overly positive person or the overly flexible worker, because eventually you're gonna find out that it ain't really no point in doing all that, because yeah, it's just no point. You don't gain anything from it. You don't get anything extra from it. All right. So, anybody ever had to deal with a manager they couldn't stand? The middle manager, the guy that's in the middle. He's not the top guy, but he's like in the middle. These people can be definitely annoying, and they take out their frustration on the people below them just because they haven't been promoted yet, right? They ain't got to the top yet, so they still angry. So they take out their anger on you, and they make it their duty to do this for 7 to 8 hours a day, and then don't let you pass them, right? Because then they definitely got eternal beef with you because you have made that to a higher place than them, right? It happens. Yo, the middle manager people be so frustrated, so heated all the time. You really want to tell them, like, yo, go take a chill pill. It ain't really that serious. Like, we all working. We all doing the same type of job. Like, beat it. Um, and they want to micromanage you and tell you how to do stuff when it's really like, yo, I know the job the same way you do. Like, come on, find something else to do. But yo, never become them people, man. For real, for real. And then, like I said, you got all these type of people that mesh together, right? And they basically, they mesh together to make a unit of workers. And from that, you can either get a positive experience or a negative one. In my time as being an employee, I've been all of these. I think I've been overly positive. Like I said, even now in my current position, I'm overly positive every day. I want to make some type of difference. I've been the old head employee. Back when I worked at Achievement First. I was one of the oldest employees in the building. I think I was even older than the principal at one point. Or me and him might have been the same age. But imagine working with a bunch of people that's like fresh out of college, and you had been out of college for, at that point, I think I had been out of college like 8 years. Like, it was a culture shock. It blew my mind because I'm like, you talking about you graduated high school in 07. I was done with college in 07. But okay, whatever. Welcome to the team. I don't think I ever been a slacker employee. I've been pretty good at that part. There's been some jobs where I've like clocked out mentally and didn't, but I still gave like an effort though. I still tried. And I've been in management. So when I worked at the church for 14 some odd years, I was in management. I managed a crew of people, and we did the sound on Sundays. That experience was complete. I could do a whole episode on that alone. But I did manage people. And then I had to pick up the slack when they didn't show up because they were volunteers and I was, managing them, but I was being paid for my services. So when they didn't show up, I had to take over and do all the jobs. It happens, but you learn and you grow from it, right? So personally, um, I've learned from each being in each pocket. Like when I was the overly positive person, it was like what I'm doing maybe inspire some other coworker, right? I'm being overly positive about the situation. When I was the old head employee, it was like, yo, these young heads, these young bloods coming to me for advice. Like that's different, but okay, cool, I'm with it. When I was the manager, you had to basically take on responsibility for when people didn't pick up, their job and do it correctly. You had to take the fall for it most times. All those different pockets helped me learn how to deal with people when working. So like I feel like now, um, I'm probably a good employee to have at that point because I've done so many different, jobs, whether it be school system or, like I said, whether it be working at in the church setting or, just period working period. It's just like I've learned so much over time and been all these different type of employees that it's helped me tremendously. Um, I've learned like, people like basically, okay, so people slack off, then I have to pick up the slack and keep it moving because I have to get the job done no matter what. That's just me. Um, but in the work environment, man, it's just best to just do your job and hopefully everybody does their part. You can't really, in this day and age, you can't really force people to do anything. They're gonna do what they want. And if jobs are desperate for people, they just gonna take what they can get and basically work around it. And that's pretty much what's happening these days, post COVID, right? People have jobs and you wondering how they even have it because like I said, they barely even show up or they barely try. And you got the people that's hanging around for years because they don't want to go anywhere or they can't go nowhere or they just waiting for that day when they can go somewhere, but the whole time they just working your nerve because you really want to be like, just go home. But you can't say that because it's not right. um but yeah, these are different type of co-workers, different type of people, man. Like I said, hopefully you could look at this and you can chuckle a little bit, maybe look at yourself and go, I used to be just like that too as an employee, and just have a good time with it, man. It's really meant to make you laugh. I hope you have fun with this one. Like I always say, man, hey, y'all keep supporting me, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, and this podcast will keep going. And yeah, send me your ideas too. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram and all the social media platforms, and just hit me with some ideas if you have any. I'm definitely taking requests. But with that being said, this is another episode. Like I said before, have fun with it, laugh a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Peace and love. I'll see you on the next one.